We're going to have a look at applying slide sheets with somebody that is unable to roll. And we do have a choice of slide sheets that we can use. We can either use 2 flat sheets, full body flat sheets, or we can use a roller sheet. You can use them both in exactly the same way. Often it's what's available or personal preference as to what you choose to use. My personal preference is the full body flat sheets, but as I say, the roller sheet does exactly the same thing. So we're going to have a look at a technique called the snake technique, which is what I've named myself, and it only needs assistance of one person and the patient doesn't have to move at all. So the first thing we're going to do is put one edge just fixed underneath the heavier parts of the patient. Once we've got the edge of the sheets fixed and locked into position, we're then going to fold the edge closest to you, 3 folds and about 3 inches roughly. It might be that you can't quite get to the middle section and you need to do the top end of your folding. So again, 3 folds, and then I can just come to the middle and make an adjustment there. So this is our snake alongside the patient. We can then untuck the edge of the sheet, which is underneath the person. And then the idea is that we need to push the folds closest to you underneath the areas of the body where there's a little bit of space. So I'm going to start with the lumbar spine here, where there's a natural curve in the body. And I'm going to grab one edge, the closest edge, and with the other edge, I'm pushing it underneath the lumbar spine. And I'm keeping in my fab stance, making sure I'm looking after my back. So again, holding the edge closest to the patient, grabbing the fold and pushing it underneath the knees. And then, if I can, we can do the same at the neck. And then I'm going to go around the other side. And starting at the lumbar spine, seeing if I can find some of the slide sheet and start unrolling. Once I've got a little bit of that material out, I can come down to the knees, start unrolling. Up to the lumbar. You might need to keep adjusting where you are. A little bit back here. It should unroll itself all the way up the patient's body to the top. And I'm keeping the sheets underneath the pillow because we want to aim to keep the sheets under the pillow so that we're sliding the patient with their pillow rather than going on top of their pillow. So, I'm just straightening out the sheets now, and you might have to walk around the bed a couple of times just to straighten out those sheets. If you find when you put the sheets on that you've got no sheet underneath the heels or underneath the head, you can use an additional small roller sheet and put that underneath the body parts which aren't in contact with the slide sheet. You want to make sure that you've got all body parts in contact with the slide sheets to prevent any shearing or damage to the skin. When we've pushed through the folds of our snake technique, what we now need to do is try and find the other side of the slide sheet. So going from the lumbar spine, I'm going to put my hand under and try and find the end, which I can then start unrolling nice and slowly and gently. Then I might want to come down to the knee and just start unrolling that side of the slide sheet. I might need to come here and just start unrolling the side of the slide sheet all the way down. At some point you might like to come to the neck and start pulling that through as well, keeping in your really good crab stance at all times, protecting your spine. And you want to make sure that that slide sheet is going underneath the pillow, because we're sliding the patient with the pillow, not over the top of the pillow. So I'm unravelling all the way down to the feet, like so. Once you've got that side out, you might like to go to the other side and just neaten off the other side a bit more as well. Unravelling all the way down, making sure we should have about equal amount of material both sides of the patient. And if either the head or the feet is not on slide sheet material, then we can grab another little roll of slide sheet and we can put that underneath the parts that don't have any slide sheet attached to them. And then we're ready to slide our patient.